Hey guys, I'm Daniel with Austin Underground at ACL 2023 with Ben Kweller. Ben, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good.
We're really happy to have you. You're from Texas.
I am.
How does it feel playing? You're essentially playing in your own backyard
Dude,
here in front of
yeah.
your people.
I love ACL Fest because it really is. It's like our own festival, you know? It's a hometown crowd, a lot of friends here, a lot of bands that I love, right in the heart of the city in Zilker Park, which is such a beautiful setting. And yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Have you gotten to see anyone that you were looking forward to, or maybe someone you're excited to see?
I saw Lil Yachty, which I really wanted to see. He crushed it.
It was amazing.
I saw a little bit of Kendrick the other night. I'm gonna see. Oh, I saw Michigander. One of my.
Yeah.
Jason is a friend of mine, and it was the first time I got to see them live. They were really good, and I'm gonna see the Foo Fighters tonight.
Foo Fighters.
So that's gonna be dope.
That's awesome. You're not new to music. You've been writing songs, if I'm not mistaken, since you were 8.
Truth.
Performing with your dad.
Truth.
You were signing deals in high school.
Hashtag true.
Like, how do you keep your head on your shoulders? Do you have any advice for musicians?
I mean, there's a lot there. My parents, from day one, like even before I was into music, they really always told me that like you're no better than anyone else, and no one's better than you, and everyone's equal to a certain degree, you know. And like, if anything you want to do in this world, just do it the best you can, you know, and be the best you can be. And so I think a lot of me keeping my head on my shoulders, I owe that to my parents, just for like grounding me and like keeping me humble, you know. And then like I just have followed my passion, like music, really. Songwriting and performing has just been my number one savior in this world. And so for artists that are getting into it, like I would say just don't stop, you know. Like you got to put in the time and the effort. It's just like starting any other, like it's like a startup company, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to invest your
put in
heart
the
and
hours.
soul. You got to put in the 10,000 hours, and you got to, you know, just devote your soul to it. And for me, that's the only way that I've been able to make it work, is like making it my life's work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not my side hustle.
It's your life.
It's my life. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
As someone who's been in the industry for a while, I'm really curious to get your thoughts on how technology and social media has really changed the landscape. You know, we have artists making songs, just putting them on social media and just building a career off that. What are your thoughts on that? And is there anything you kind of learn from these new artists?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's definitely a fact that just releasing music isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
When I was first starting, like there was definitely a sense that you could record an album, get a record deal, the record label would do all the marketing and everything, and you were kind of good, you know? I mean, not everybody, it wasn't a guaranteed success, but like it was a lot of work that you didn't have to take on your shoulders. These days, like if you're an artist, you have to be an entrepreneur as well, and you have to embrace social media and technology. And that's how you're going to get your music out there.
Yeah.
I mean, video content, for better or for worse, is like almost more important than the music now. And like, as someone who only adores music, like it's hard for me to say that, but I'm also not naive to like what's happening, you know? And so you have to embrace social media, and you just got to go for it. I mean, there's so many artists out there and so many bands, like there's so much competition that like you have to, in my opinion, the best way to sort of make yourself known and rise above is like create music that's unique and honest and authentic, and then hopefully you'll find an audience that way, you know. That's the hope.
That's the hope. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about this summer touring with Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, bro.
Maybe a story that stands out or anything you learned?
Well, yeah, I mean, Ed has become a good friend of mine over the years. We actually met in 2015. I'll tell you how we met.
I'm curious, yeah.
So I was home on a Thursday in Austin, and my booking agent calls and says, "Hey, are you home tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Can you open for Ed Sheeran tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah." but why?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, well, his opener's stuck in Australia and won't make the gig.
Yeah.
And they want you to open. And I was like, okay. And so I show up for the gig and I play it. Well, first of all, when I showed up, there was just one guitar on the stage, on this huge stage. No drums, no band gear. And I asked his crew, I was like, hey, like, where's all the back line, for the band? He's like, what band, mate? He plays solo. And I was like, oh, my God, really? Like, for like 10,000 people? They're like, yeah, mate. And I was like, okay, what a beast. And so I play my opening slot, and he comes up to me afterwards and is like, mate, that was brilliant. Can you play Dallas tomorrow?
Wow.
Sorry for my horrible British accent.
That's good, it's good.
But I try. And I was like, yeah. And so then I played Dallas, and then after that he's like, mate, the opener's not coming. Can you just do the whole tour? And I was like, yes. So that's how we met back in 2015, and we've just become friends.
Hit it off.
And we've had a lot of good memories together. And so, yeah, this tour over the summer was in theaters all over the U.S., and he was playing his new album, Subtract, from start to finish. And
that's fun.
He's just a great guy. He's just, like, so humble, so real, like everything you would expect.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. So throughout your life making music, I'm curious if you can reflect a little bit on, we talked a little bit about music being a big part of your life, but dividing the personal and the professional, kind of how do they mirror each other? How do you strike a balance between
That's a good question, bro.
being an individual and being an artist?
No, that's a good question. Like the work-life balance, So I am very family-oriented. I'm married, and we have 2 boys. We actually lost one of our sons this year in a car crash. Dorian, he's an artist. Zev, check out Zev's music. It's amazing. He died at 16 years old in a car crash, and it's been so traumatic and horrible. And at first I wanted to cancel everything I had on the books, and then I realized that no, like I had to keep going to like spread the message of his music and his hope. And he was friends to everyone and like such a beautiful soul. My music is very much my life, but I certainly try to carve out time to have like alone time with my family. That's my favorite time is being with my family, and we live out in Dripping Springs out in the country. So it's a good juxtaposition from always being in big cities on tour. I get to come home to the country and the birds and the wind blowing through the trees and swimming and swimming holes and hiking down trails. That's my life when I'm home. I also have a record label called The Noise Company. Check out The Noise Company. We got a lot of cool artists that I mentor and like help produce and just kind of show them the ropes, that kind of like what you were asking about earlier. Like I actively enjoy helping young artists figure all this out and try to make a living at it, because that's like the hardest part.
I'm sure
it's
that's very rewarding.
It is, man. I love that. So I have that work life as well that I have to do. So it's like I try to do a few days a week of music only, a few days of business stuff, Zooms and meetings and things like that. And then I try to have my weekends if I'm not working, like if I'm not performing on stage, I try to be home for my weekends.
Yeah.
I definitely like schedule all my meetings Monday through Friday during business hours between like 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Like I try to
build those walls.
like you kind of have to, like if you want the longevity.
Yeah.
It is any other career essentially. It's just showbiz. So like there's this element of performing and being on camera. Hi. And so that's real, but at the end of the day it's no different than being any other kind of job.
It's a job, 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Well, thank you so much, Ben. Lastly,
thank you.
Where can viewers find you? What do you have up and coming?
Yeah,
Anything?
so go to benkweller.com, BENKWELLER.com. Maybe you can put letters down there or something.
All right, we will.
Oh, yeah. And go to thenoisecompany.com if you want to check out all the other artists that I work with. And check out Zev. And follow Ben Kweller on Spotify and follow Zev on Spotify. Because follows are a big deal on Spotify. Not a lot of people know that, because streams are one thing, just like listening to it. But when you follow an artist, you'll get alerted when they have new releases, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because we want you to know about our new releases, not just our old releases.
Yeah.
So
it's important. Yes. Make sure to follow. Ben Kweller, thank you guys so much. No, thank you, Ben, for your
Thank
time.
you, and thank you.
Check us out, austinunderground.org, and our social media is Austin Underground. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.